peeps, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for so much for coming back. Today I'm going to be doing a flip through of my Hobonichi cousin and how I use it in more detail. My last video was about how I am using all three of my paper planners together, and I will leave a link in the description box if you're interested in what I'm using with this planner. But today we are going to be doing a flip through of my Hobonichi cousin, and all I have it right now in is this plastic cover that I got from Lauren Phelps Designs. I will leave a link to her store because these covers are awesome. The reason why I like to do that is because you can put paper in between your book, your planner, and the clear cover, and it makes it like it's decorative. I bought a Lisa Frank calendar, and I just used one of the month's pages, decorative pages, to cover my book, my planner. It's so pretty. And the reason why I like her covers is because she has pockets. I'm seriously loving and big on stencils. So yeah, I put my little stencils that I mostly use right here. And then I just put a little bit of stickers here. I put another pocket here to keep the bigger stencils that I have and like to use. And then I got a little sticker here, and I don't remember where this is from, but I thought it was so cute. I try to keep the really thick, heavy stickers down to a minimum. And that is one of the changes that I'm going to be making for this year, is I'm not going to be using any sticker kits. And I will show you the difference, in case you guys wanted to see. Last year, that is my baby from last year. I used tons of sticker kits. So if you like a chunky monkey, you can see the difference between this year and last year. I used a sticker kit for pretty much every single week in the weeks. I even used a lot of stickers in my dailies. But this year it was really hard, and I'll show you. Last year, towards the end of the year, to write on the edge of this, it was really hard, and I didn't like it. And the whole point of me getting a Hobonichi cousin is because it has all of the daily pages in it. And I'm a big, big journaler. I love to journal. I write down everything. It's like seriously self-care for me. Like the end of my day, good, bad, the ugly, all goes into my daily pages. So anyway, this is from last year, and I'll do a little comparison so you guys can understand what I mean when I'm referring back to it. So let's get on to it. This page, the 3-year page, I only put my work dates. Yeah, like paydays, days off, personal development days, anything like that will go here, so I can easily flip to it and see when my vacations are and when my paydays are and things like that. Okay, this year this is different for me, and I struggled with this a lot last year, and this year I finally found what is this called, year glance piece. Because this is really, I was having a hard time keeping up, and I'll show you what I mean. Last year, I started it off as a habit tracker, but I kind of like dropped off towards the end of the month, and then I totally folded on March and didn't do it. I started to get back into it on April, but then again, I kind of fell off. So like and then I noticed that I was like filling it in for days at a time. I was trying to remember, so it was really hard for me to do that. And then I just completely gave up on it, not even gonna try, and changed it to a Calendex. This did work for me pretty well, but I also noticed that last year, I'll show you, I kept a Calendex here too. And so this was basically repetitive I was doing the same thing in both books, and I noticed that sometimes I would write it in here and forget to write it in here. I'm just going to only do the Calendex in my weeks planner now for going forward. So this year, what I'm doing for the Calendex, or the Year at a Glance, is a health tracker. And basically what this is, yeah, I know, you're right looking at it thinking, dude, you couldn't handle the last one. How are you going to handle this one? Okay, I set a lot of alarms in my phone, okay? I'm going to do it this year. Don't be judging me. No, I'm just kidding. So I know you obviously know the struggles I have with a tracker, but I really love the data and information that a tracker can provide, especially to a health, as far as your health is concerned, because, and I will give you an example. I've only been doing this since a little bit into 2020, like the last 2 weeks of 2020, I started really tracking my sleep hours, my energy level, my pain for the day. And if I've drank the amount of water that I need to drink every day, if I've taken my vitamins for that day, if I've followed the diets that I'm set for myself, the goals for diet that I've set for myself, if I've exercised, and then here I'm going to basically see, so that way later I can see like what the impact of exercise has on my sleep, on my energy, you know, what is the diet, how it affects those things. So I'll keep you posted on this, and I will do a 6-month review when I'm done with this whole page in June. So definitely keep me accountable, guys. Ask me about this. It is a work in progress, but I really want to do it because this is going to help me so much. I feel like it's already helped with just, you know, my energy and everything. It has really helped. So, and then, oh, I was going to show you. Here, I'm going to put down my weight at the beginning of the month, my measurements, and if I've lost or gained any pounds right there. So, and then down here is just like, you know, I'm going to write what I'm tracking. So that's that. Okay, and then here, usually the Hobonichi cousin comes with, it starts in December, even though this is a 2021 planner. So what I use this for is ideas that I have on how I'm going to use this book. An example of me trying to use my layout without stickers. I did a little, see, I did some, but as you've seen in the other one, it's way less stickers. I mean, this is just covered with stickers. So this is a lot less. I used a lot more of my stencils and just writing. I decided that I want to practice my handwriting and brush lettering. So I wrote in my own dates at the top, days of the week, and then I highlighted them with the color of the month. That's another thing that I've always done, but not necessarily in here. What I've always done is I color code everything. I've been color coding for years. I love color coding. It helps me so easily like flip through my book and see, oh, I know right away that's this month, that's this month. I'll insert a little picture here of even my stickers. They're color coded. That granted, I do incorporate, like I did green and red, but for the majority, like December was red. And then I work at a school, so I like to do my like I like to know what quarter I'm in, because then to remind my students and like when to get like grades in and things like that. So I like to know what quarter it is. I need to know what quarter it is. So I'll show you what I did here. This is an idea I got from Addicted to Planning, what she said to do, which is a brilliant idea. She has so many really good ideas. So if you want to check out her channel, do so. She writes, I guess like for her quarters are weird for work. So she writes her quarters here. So what I did is like I can easily do this and know that this is quarter 3. This is quarter 2. So I start the day or start the month along with the quarter. So that way I know what quarter starts when and what month belongs to what quarter. So yeah, that's what I did with those. And then, like I said, I used a lot of lettering and markers and stencils. I do, like I told you, I have tons of stickers, so I will use some stickers, but not as many as I was using last year. And also, here, I wanted to show you guys, this is what I was doing. So like I said earlier, I'm going to be keeping my Calendex in my weeks planner, and how that's going to coincide or like collaborate is, so on the 1st, January 1st, if I see a circle, circles usually indicate bills due. So when the bill paid, I simply fill in the dot so that I know that I paid that bill. As you can see, they're all paid. And then a pink circle indicates that that's a date of something that I want to attend or an event that I want to be at, or anything, everything goes in here. This is basically my inbox. And then I can look here, there's a B. That's a birthday for my brother. So that way these two work coinciding together. I don't know how you say that word, but basically I can look at this and then go to this book and know what it actually is that I want to track or attend, whatever. So that's how I'm using those. And typically what I will do is set up all my monthlies in advance. I set up my monthly views, I set up my example page, I set up my year at a glance, I set up my, I don't know what they call this, 3 years at a glance, you know, like I set up these, I set up my stickers. So there's plenty to play with if you get your planner in advance early and you want to start breaking into it. So yeah, that's how my planners, my monthly pages are being used. Continuing on. Okay, here's where the big changes are going to be happening. I live in my weekly pages. For me, these are life. This is what keeps me organized. Everything right here. So again, with the, at the top, there's this section right here that's kind of blank. I'm going to be using that to sync this. Again, I will take this book and write down anything that I have going on for that week up here using the symbol. I like my weekly pages to match. This is where I let my creativity flow a little bit more in my weekly pages. So what I'll do here, perfect example. Okay, so what I do is I use the same color for the whole week and for the whole month. So that way when I'm flipping through, I could see, oh, here's, you know, without having to stop and look, oh, what's that date? What's that date? I'll be able to see it more easily. This one, I kind of did that with my weekly pages because I know, like, I was using pink for February, green for March, purple for April. So I'm still sticking with the same colors. I like to use a lot of pastels in April for spring, June and July. So I'm still sticking with a little bit of that, but on a more simple scale, which is basically my pens. So for January, my planner is like an icy blue, like a pastel blue because of snow, and that's how I pick them based on the season. I'm very much a seasonal living girl where I like my desk to have more blue, certain candles, you know, certain flowers on my desk for January, and then, you know, same thing with February and March and all of that. So for the pen, I will be using my blue pen. Okay, this is basically the planner system that I will be using in this section. I use these symbols, which is the bullet journaling system. So if it's a task, it gets a little dot. If it's completed, it gets an X by it. If like I started it but I haven't finished it, it will be like a slash part of the X, the first part of the X. Like then once it's done, I'll make an X. And then if it's really important and I don't want to forget, then I'll put a star next to it. If it's, I did not even do it at all. A lot of times, like, I get busy doing something and I didn't do it. So you migrate it to the next day, which means I didn't get finished with that. I need to work on it tomorrow or the following day. Triangles are appointments, and usually what I'll do for the triangles and the circle, when I have, like, say, an appointment or like an event, and it's like completed, I did it, I attended it, I'll just color it in. So at first it will be like empty, like outlined, and then when it's completed, I'll just go ahead and fill it in. And that's how I know that I attended such appointment or event. And then if it's just a note, something that I wanted to note and not necessarily need to do anything about it, I just draw a slash. And then B's are for birthdays. I had one birthday here. I didn't need... And then events, I had one event here. I filled it in because I attended that. And then along with this sort of symbol method or whatever, along with the bullet journaling method, I also use the Zen to Done method, which is basically taking the getting things done method and breaking it down to habits. So the first thing is to collect, the second thing is to process, and then plan. So I am working on these two habits because I feel like those two habits go together. So I'm working on them simultaneously, which means the minute I collect it, like if I don't have my books with me or if I'm not at home, I immediately write it into my inbox. But the minute that I get home, I come to my desk and process it. If it's dated, it goes into the Calendex. If it's a project or something that I want to work on, it goes into my reference book. Or if it's a task that can be done immediately, I do it. Like less than 2 minutes is what the GTD system says. So if it can be done within 2 minutes, I get it done as soon as I can. So I'm working on those two habits at the same time. I feel like planning is something that I already do, but that is the next habit to work on in this system. And this is my planning, obviously. So I'm incorporating these systems into my planning process. And obviously you don't want to write something down and not do it. And part of the problem with me was I had these really, like I love my stickers and everything, but they weren't really functional for me, and I'm more of a functional person than I am a decorative person. So I was finding that my stickers were overwhelming. Like I was wanting like to have a perfect kit to match that month, to go with my seasons. Like I said, I'm a seasonal girl, so it was really hard for me to like plan in advance. Some of the time ordering stickers takes like a month to get here. Especially with COVID and all that, I was like, oh my gosh, forget it. So it's very easy for me to go through pens. Since I've been color coding for most of my life, I already had the pens that I use. And this, I'll show you what I mean. I have my pens already. My January is getting rubbed off because I'm using it so much. But I already have my pens for the year. As you can see, I just write down what pen goes with what month. I already have this. I keep this in my desk. It's right here next to me, the top drawer. So if I need to write something down on January, so I know for this month, I'm using these two pens. And that way it makes planning and the whole process a lot simpler for me. I basically simplified my planning method. So that's how I'm using my weekly pages. Another thing I wanted to mention is that towards the bottom, because they are timed, I ended up not using a lot of this section, which last year I would do like washi and stickers. But since I'm not going to be doing that this year very much, I decided to put my to-dos down here at the bottom, my tasks for that day. And sometimes I have extra space. So what I thought I would do is incorporate some stamping. So stay tuned for that. So that being said, I will be using a lot more stamps. And years ago, I followed this girl on YouTube, her videos. Oh, I just loved her stamping system. I loved the way she stamped and her setup. So I'm going to take some ideas from her and incorporate that into my planner. So these are my weeklies. The next thing that I want to share is my daily pages. And I played around with different ways to use this page last year. I'll show you a couple of ideas. The first thing that I did was sort of like a life map or a vision board, and I basically wrote down all the goals and things that I wanted to accomplish along with some doodles, and that's how I used it. I found that I really wasn't referencing this page and I wasn't using it as much, so I tried different things. See, for a couple months I used it like that. I did try doing this, which I love, and I'm going to keep this idea, but I'm going to migrate it to my my Hobonichi weeks. But then that left me with the issue, what was I going to use it for this year? This page was going to be blank again. So what I wanted to do this year was still do like a goals, but also years ago I used to use the DIY fish system, and that was, it had like a weekly track. She calls it a weekly chart, but you basically write down things that you would like to do in the day, or habits that you want to create, or things that you forget or whatever, and see how many times you do it. Now, you guys know I'm bad with habit trackers, but I still want to keep working on that. I still want to keep trying to do that because I feel like the information is very helpful later on. Plus, this helps me to keep accountable. I always keep a tab on here, and that way I can try to get these things done every day. Here I broke down some self-help topics that I want to be better on. So these are my goals for this month. On this page, I'm going to be using these two things. Then my daily pages, like I said before, these are journaling pages. They get pretty packed. I mean, you can see I used to the last line. So that's going to stay the same. This worked really well for me last year. I basically journaled everything I did that day. And here's my Bible journaling, you know, notes to myself. Again, using the symbols. This is really important. I wanted to remember it, so I put an asterisk by it. This is when I started it, at the time that I started, and then this is my memory verse that I'm working on. Another thing that I do, and I wanted to let you guys know, is this. These are the events or things that I want to remember. So this is my calendar. These two things get synced with this. That way I can keep it in view when I'm in this planner. I don't have to go and grab this. I can see, oh, what's this event that I have and I need to go on? So that's why I sync this calendar to match that, and that keeps it in mind. And back here, here's my 100 list. Last year, since I was learning my book, I was trying out all kinds of pens, inks, markers, highlighters, if they smeared on this page. This was my basically pen test page. And this year I'm going to be doing it as like a fun thing with my son. So I broke it down into months, and this is for the whole year. So I color coded it, obviously, so I could know January, February, March, April, May, June, and so forth. And then I broke them down into like 8, so that's 2 a week. So that way, you know, it's easier for me to remember and keep track of and do. Then in the back, these are the pockets, and I kept this as a template because it fits so well in here. And that's it for my flip through of my Hobonichi cousin. I hope that's helpful to you guys. That's my system for this coming year, and I will be doing a lot of plan with me's on this system, so that way you can see it in action. This is my system and my flip through of my Hobonichi cousin. I hope that it's been useful to you. Again, like I said, I will be doing lots of plan with me's with this system, so you can see it in action in the next few weeks. I will also be doing a flip through of my other 2 books and how I'm using them. If you're interested in that, please hit the subscribe button. Let me know which one you're interested in most in the comments below. Until next time, happy planning. Bye, everyone.